Hello everyone, it's Amy. Welcome back to my channel. I said I would bring you along for some of the crafty things that I was making for the craft fair, and I haven't got a chance to do anything else. So I thought that I would show you a few of the things that I'm working on and just give you a couple hints of how I did them. They're nothing new, but I am making coasters out of tile from the hardware store and napkins. So, and I usually put them, I used to put them in sets of 4, like I have 4 of each of these, but I have come to the conclusion that at my craft fairs, they sell better in sets of 2. And then if someone wants 4, they can always pick up 2 sets, but it seems like a lot of people like to just pick up 2. Maybe so that they just have a little something, and it's cheaper, or, you know, maybe just because they don't want 4. I don't know. But anyway, so I just started with some tiles from the hardware store. I have painted the edges gold. I usually do that afterwards, but as I was painting the edges of these, I had extra paint, so I thought, well, I'm just going to keep painting edges until I run out of tiles. So, and I apologize about the light. I will get it eventually. I'm getting very close to getting the art room together. I just have to finish the sewing desk and the journaling closet, which is really bad. But it's getting there, and I have been stopping to get some things ready for the craft fair, so. But I am using water glue. You can use Mod Podge also for this. Water glue is 2 parts white glue to 1 part water. And I just use a chip brush. Chip brushes come from, again, like the hardware, like Menards. They're very reasonable in price. And then napkins. And I pulled out a pile. Here we go. I still have a few napkins to choose from. So I thought that these were really pretty, and they are pretty, but they don't have a focal point. So I've decided not to use those. These are also very pretty, but really light colored. So I decided not to use those. I thought this little bird would be pretty on one of the napkins, so that's an option. I do like this Paris, but the Eiffel Tower is quite tall, so I would only get it if I made it go right to the top pretty much. And this is just kind of how I go ahead and sample my napkins to find out which ones I want to use. So I could do it like that. That's not bad. I like this one, but again, this one doesn't really have a nice focal point. It's more mixed media. I mean, I could do the rose, but even if I did the rose, it would take up so much of the napkin that it would just kind of, to me, look like a pink blob. So, and I do like the little blue butterflies, but they're so far away from the rest of everything. Yeah, I don't like that either. Not for this project. Now, these are pretty. And the nice thing is, if you have a napkin with 4 of the same pattern on them, then you can make a set of 4 very easily. Those are pretty. I think that that would make a really nice one. So that's a good option. And then again, I love this one, but you know, it's just way too big. We'd only get like the head of the peacock, and then, you know, what would the point be? Now, I did think about, I might do this too, like just for me or whatever, but I thought maybe I would put 2 of them together and then go ahead and put it on there and split it in the middle. So one of them would look like this. Nah, I don't like that. Okay. Alrighty, so last one. This one has a lovely big butterfly on it. Excuse me. Oh, I really do like that. Okay, I actually have some of these. Now, the only thing with this one is how many... Okay, each napkin comes with 3, so I'll need 2 napkins to do a set of 4. Okay, so then how you do it. If you haven't done this before, first thing, whenever you're going to decoupage a napkin onto anything, you need to take the backing paper off. Some of them have 1, some of them have 2, some of them even have 3 backing papers on them. So you can sit and try and pick them apart like this, or just take a piece of Scotch tape, press it on there, and pull kind of up and away. And once you get it started, then you can just, it will come off of there very easily. So then you need to decide what you want for, I'm going to take these coasters out of here. We'll just work with 1. Okay, then you need to decide where you want your pattern to be. And I think that that's probably pretty good. And then you can either just kind of press on it and rip it. You can cut it with a pair of scissors. What I usually do is just take a paintbrush with some water on it and just go along the edge of the tile. And it doesn't matter if it gets a little extra wet or anything, because you're going to put the water glue on it anyway. So you're going to get those edges pretty wet. And then carefully kind of hold your napkin down with one hand and then pull away with the other to just make a pretty torn edge. But it's an easy torn edge. But be careful. I almost ripped down to the butterfly there. Remember to hold the napkin down as you pull away, because otherwise that napkin could rip into a spot that you really don't want it to. And I like to try and make them about as big as the tile. If the picture is too small to do that, you can make them smaller, but I don't like to see a whole lot of the white tile on my coasters. So you just go around the edge like that. They don't have to be perfect, and they don't have to each look exactly like the next. So if I were to accidentally, make sure I've got it all disconnected. Yes. If I were to accidentally, let's say, leave a big dent right here, I wouldn't have to make sure that I did that on all of them. Now what I'm going to do is carefully take this off, because you want the water glue underneath and over top to make sure that it stays down. You would hate for it to peel up after somebody, got it and took it home. So just some water glue. And like I said, it's okay that this is wet. That glue's got water in it, so it's not going to hurt a thing. And then just kind of line it up, because once you set it down on the water glue, it's going to want to stay where you put it. Now also, really, and I kind of forgot myself, it's easier if you kind of fold it up and put the middle in the middle first. And because I've got glue on it, now it's wanting to stick to me. And then go ahead, I'm going to use my wet paintbrush to try and just bring that out there, because it was sticking to me. Lift it up and pull it out carefully so that you don't rip the napkin, because by the time you take that back layer off, the napkins are much more delicate. And then they're wet also. So then you're just going to push that down. Now, I don't like it to fold under on itself, but if it gets wrinkles, that doesn't bother me at all. It just gives it texture. It gives it a feel. And I don't have a problem with that. Again, had I started in the middle, there we go. If I had started by putting the middle down and then laying the sides down, it would have been much better. Just try and pull that out. I'm going to take a little bit off right there because it's folded over. I'm going to take a little bit off right there because it's, I guess I should say it's folded under. And I don't like the way that that looks, so I'll just take that off. I'm going to take a little bit off this corner because it feels like it's too close to the edge. Got a couple wrinkles there. I'm going to push those down. Bubble, push that out. And there we go. That looks pretty good. And so then what you do is you just take your water glue and put a coat on top. Now sometimes if you're too far one way or the other, if you take your water glue, let's say I want to slide it that way, when you're putting the water glue on, if you pretty much kind of pull it that way as you go, not really pull, but just, it will slide a little bit. So if you kind of just continue in that direction while your brush is wet, so that it doesn't tear the napkin, a lot of times it will slide the napkin the way that you're brushing it. And there we go. Now that just has to sit aside and dry. Normally I would have to paint the edges, but those are already done for me now. And then once they're completely dry, I take them outside and I put something underneath them so nothing like comes up out of the grass, and just clear coat them with any type of a clear spray. I just go to Walmart or Menards. I kind of like the Krylon, I think it's Krylon. I like lacquer, and it comes in a green can from Menards or Walmart. And I like the lacquer finish. It's a shiny finish. The napkins are pretty matte, but if you want a matte finish, you can go ahead and get clear spray in matte, in satin, and in a bright shine. So I just go ahead and I spray them, just one nice coat of spray, let them dry, and they are completely ready to go. So there we go. Those were just a few napkins on how to peel your napkin, how to pick your image, and how to get those glued down there. So if you haven't done this before, I hope that that helped you a little bit. Oh, the light's shining right on it. But I do love the way that they look, and they seem to be a halfway decent seller. So thank you very much for stopping by. I really do appreciate it, and I hope that you all have an outstanding day. Bye-bye.